8 square miles. That's it. Iwo Jima is 8 square miles of volcanic rock in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. No resources, no population, no strategic value except for one thing. It sits directly between American bombers and Japan. And for that reason alone, 70,000 Americans assaulted this island. 27,000 became casualties. 7,000 died. The battle lasted 36 days. Every single day, hundreds of men died fighting over yards of volcanic ash. Here's the question that haunted everyone who fought there. Was it worth it? 7,000 American lives for 8 square miles of worthless rock. The answer reveals something brutal about the Pacific War, about how America fought Japan, about the mathematics of death. Because Iwo Jima wasn't about the island. It was about breaking Japan's will, proving that no defense, no matter how strong, could stop America. And the cost of proving that point was written in blood across every inch of that black sand beach. This is the story of Iwo Jima, the most iconic photograph of World War II. 6 Marines raising a flag on Mount Suribachi. 3 of them would be dead within days. This is the story of why they fought, why they died, and why even after winning, survivors questioned whether it was worth the price. Iwo Jima sits 660 miles south of Tokyo. Small, hair-shaped, dominated by Mount Suribachi, an extinct volcano at the southern tip. The island is worthless except for its airfields. 2 operational, 1 under construction, and those airfields are exactly what America needs. 29 Superfortress bombers are hitting Japan from bases in the Mariana Islands, 1,500 miles each way. The B-29s are flying at maximum range. If they get damaged over Japan, they can't make it back. They ditch in the ocean. Crews die. And Japanese fighters based on Iwo Jima intercept them both ways. Attack the bombers going to Japan. Attack them coming back. If America takes Iwo Jima, everything changes. Damaged B-29s have an emergency landing field. Fighter escorts can fly from Iwo to protect the bombers over Japan. Japanese early warning is eliminated. The strategic logic is clear. Take Iwo Jima. Save bomber crews. Win the war faster. On paper, it makes perfect sense. The problem is Japan knows all of this too. And they've spent months turning Iwo Jima into the most heavily fortified island in the Pacific. Lieutenant General Tadamaki Kurabayashi commands the defense. He's brilliant, realistic. He knows Japan is losing the war. He knows Iwo Jima will eventually fall. But his job isn't to win. It's to make America pay such a horrific price that they'll reconsider invading Japan itself. Make every yard cost American lives. Make the casualties so high that America chooses negotiation over invasion. That's his mission, and he executes it perfectly. Kurabayashi abandons traditional Japanese tactics. No bonsai charges. No suicidal attacks. No dying for honor. Instead, he builds a defensive system designed for one purpose. Kill as many Americans as possible before you die. He has 21,000 troops. He orders them to dig. Dig tunnels. Dig bunkers. Dig caves. Connect everything underground. 11 miles of tunnels. Concrete bunkers. Reinforced positions. Interlocking fields of fire. Artillery pre-registered on every beach. Machine gun nests invisible until you're on top of them. The entire island becomes a death trap. Kurabayashi's orders are simple. Every man must kill 10 Americans before dying. 21,000 defenders. 210,000 American casualties. That's the goal. If he achieves it, the invasion of Japan becomes politically impossible. America will negotiate. Japan survives. It's mathematical. It's cold. It's brilliant. And it almost works. February 19th, 1945. 0 hour. The largest amphibious assault in the Pacific. 70,000 Marines. 3 divisions. 500 ships offshore. The Navy has been bombarding Iwo Jima for 3 days. Battleships. Cruisers. Destroyers. Thousands of shells. From the ships, it looks like nothing could survive. The island is burning. Smoke everywhere. Surely the defenses are destroyed. They're not. Kurabayashi ordered his men into the tunnels. Ride out the bombardment underground. Wait, the shells can't penetrate the deep bunkers. When the bombardment stops, emerge and fight. It's a trap, and the Marines are walking into it. The first wave hits the beach at 9 a.m. Landing craft drop ramps. Marines charge out onto black volcanic sand. It's not like normal sand. It's ash. Coarse. Heavy. It doesn't pack down. Every step, you sink to your ankles. Running is impossible. Vehicles bog down. Tanks can't maneuver. Men struggle just to walk. And they're completely exposed. For the first few minutes, nothing happens. No fire. No resistance. Marines push inland confused. Where are the Japanese? Did the bombardment actually work? Then they reach the first terrace. A steep slope of volcanic ash. 15 feet high. Impossible to climb quickly. Men are struggling. Slipping. Exposed. That's when the Japanese open fire. Every gun on the island seems to fire at once. Machine guns. Mortars. Artillery. Carefully aimed. Pre-registered. The beach becomes hell. Marines are hit before they hear the shots. Men fall. Scream. Die. The volcanic sand turns red. Boats bringing in reinforcements take direct hits. Explode. Sink. Bodies float in the surf. The Marines can't retreat. More waves are landing behind them. Can't stay on the beach. It's a killing zone. Only option is forward. Up that terrace. Into the defenses. They climb. Men pull each other up. Use bodies as stepping stones. Whatever it takes. They reach the top. Keep pushing. Yards at a time. Every yard costs lives. By nightfall, 30,000 Marines are ashore. Casualties are catastrophic. Over 2,000 in the first day. The beachhead is tiny. Congested. Under constant fire. But they're ashore. They're staying. And tomorrow they'll push further. Mount Suribachi dominates the southern end of the island. 540 feet high. Japanese observers up there can see everything. Call in artillery on any American position. It has to be taken. The 28th Marines get the job. Fight their way to the base of Suribachi. Then up the slopes. Every cave. Every bunker. Every position has to be cleared. Flamethrowers. Explosives. Close combat. The Japanese fight from inside the mountain. Tunnels, hidden positions. You clear a cave and fire comes from another opening 50 yards away. It's brutal. For days of fighting. February 23rd. A patrol reaches the summit. They carry an American flag. Small flag. They raise it. Plant it. First American flag on Japanese soil. Marines on the beach see it. Cheer. Ships offshore blow horns. For a moment, it feels like victory. But the battle isn't over. Not even close. The flag is too small. A photographer suggests getting a larger flag. Something visible from everywhere. A second flag is sent up. 6 Marines raise it. The photographer, Joe Rosenthal, captures the moment. The photograph becomes the most famous image of World War II. Instant icon. Symbol of American determination. 3 of those 6 Marines die on Iwo Jima. Sergeant Michael Strank, Corporal Harlan Block, Private First Class Franklin Sousley. They raise the flag on February 23rd. Strank dies March 1st. Block dies the same day. Sousley dies March 21st. The photograph makes them heroes. But they don't live to see it. They die on the same worthless island. Fighting over the same volcanic rock. Killed by the same enemy that refused to surrender. Taking Suribachi is symbolic. Important for morale. But it doesn't end the battle. The rest of the island is worse. Northern 2/3. That's where Kurabayashi's main defenses are. That's where the real killing begins. The terrain north of Suribachi is nightmare landscape. Ravines, ridges, cliffs, rocky outcrops, and every single feature is fortified. The Marines call different sectors by names. The Meat Grinder, Turkey Knob, the Amphitheater, Cushman's Pocket. Every name represents hundreds of casualties. Every sector costs days of fighting. Japanese defenses are invisible until you're on top of them. Bunkers disguised as rocks. Cave entrances hidden behind boulders. Firing ports that appear to be natural crevices. You advance across open ground, and suddenly machine gun fire erupts from positions you walked past. The Japanese let you pass, then shoot you from behind. Marines have to clear every position twice. 3 times. 4 times. Because tunnels connect everything. You clear a bunker. Seal it. Move on. Japanese emerge from tunnels and reoccupy it. The only way forward is direct assault. Locate a bunker. Suppress it with fire. Send a team forward. Usually a Marine with a flamethrower and a demolitions man with satchel charges. The flamethrower operator is the most dangerous job on Iwo Jima. Life expectancy measured in minutes. You carry 70 pounds of fuel on your back. Giant target. 1 bullet in the tank and you're incinerated. But it's the only way to clear bunkers. Spray flame into the opening. Force the Japanese back. Then throw in explosives. Seal it. Every bunker costs casualties. The Marine with the flamethrower usually dies. The demolitions man usually dies. The covering team takes losses. But eventually, the bunker is destroyed. Then you move to the next one, and the next, and the next. There are thousands. Progress is measured in yards per day. Some days, 50 yards. Some days, 20. Every yard costs lives. The mathematics are brutal. Marines are taking 20% casualties. 1 in 5 is hit. Some units are taking 50%. Half the men who land are dead or wounded within a week. Replacements arrive. They die. More replacements. The meat grinder doesn't stop. Traditional Japanese tactics emphasized bonsai charges. Human wave attacks. Suicidal but quick. Iwo Jima is different. Kurabayashi forbids bonsai charges. Orders his men to stay in position. Fight from cover. Kill Americans. Don't waste lives on pointless charges. And his men obey. This makes the battle longer, bloodier, more frustrating. There's no climactic moment. No massive charge to defeat. Just grinding. Endless grinding. Bunker by bunker. Cave by cave. Yard by yard. And the Japanese don't surrender. Capture rates are almost zero. Out of 21,000 Japanese defenders, only about 200 are captured. The rest fight to the death. This isn't just fanaticism. It's doctrine. Japanese military training teaches that surrender is the ultimate dishonor. Worse than death. Worse than anything. Soldiers are told that Americans torture prisoners. Execute them. Better to die fighting than be captured. And cultural conditioning runs deep. Loyalty to the emperor. Duty to the nation. Bushido code. All of it demands fighting to the death. But there's also a practical reason. Kurabayashi's strategy only works if his men don't surrender. Every defender who fights to the death kills multiple attackers. If they surrender early, the strategy fails. So cultural conditioning and strategic necessity align. The result is a battle with almost no quarter. Marines learn quickly. The Japanese won't surrender. You have to kill them. All of them. And that realization makes the battle even more brutal. Marines develop a grim efficiency. Don't call for surrender. Don't take chances. See a cave, hit it with flamethrowers. See a bunker, blow it. Don't wait. Don't negotiate. Just kill and move on. It's industrial-scale killing. Methodical, brutal, and psychologically devastating for the men doing it. By early March, the Marines have pushed across most of the island. Casualties are staggering. Over 20,000. More than the entire Japanese garrison. The casualty rate is over 30%. Worse than any previous battle. Worse than anyone predicted. And the island still isn't secured. Small pockets of Japanese defenders hold out. Caves, tunnels, isolated positions. Each one has to be eliminated. The fighting continues. Day after day, week after week. Marines are exhausted. Combat fatigue sets in. Men see their friends die. See bodies everywhere. The volcanic ash is mixed with blood. The smell of death hangs over everything. Psychological casualties mount. Combat fatigue. Shell shock. What we now call PTSD. Men break down. Can't continue. Some just sit. Stare. Don't respond. Others cry. Shake. Can't control their hands. The human mind isn't designed for this level of sustained horror. And Iwo Jima breaks men. Corpsmen and medics are overwhelmed. Physical casualties. Psychological casualties. Triage becomes constant. Who can be saved? Who can't? Who needs evacuation? Who can stay? Medical ships offshore fill with wounded. Thousands. The ships run out of beds. Men lie on decks. In corridors. Wherever there's space. And still the fighting continues. March rolls into its second week. Third week. Fourth week. Small gains. Heavy losses. The island should have fallen by now. Intelligence predicted 5 days. Maybe a week. It's been over a month. And Japanese defenders are still fighting. March 26th, day 36. The battle is officially declared over. But it's not really over. Japanese holdouts are still fighting. Kurabayashi is still alive. Still commanding. Still killing Marines. His headquarters is in a cave system in the northern part of the island. Marines steal caves. Pump and gas. Explosives. Try to force surrender. Nothing works. The night of March 25th, Kurabayashi leads a final attack. Not a bonsai charge. A coordinated strike. About 300 men. They infiltrate American lines. Attack rear areas. Trying to destroy aircraft. supplies, cause chaos. It's well planned, almost succeeds. But American forces rally, counterattack. The Japanese assault is wiped out. Kurabayashi is never seen again, probably killed in that final attack. His body is never found. He becomes one of 20,000 Japanese dead buried in the volcanic ash of Iwo Jima. The island becomes a mass grave. American graves registration teams spend months recovering bodies, identifying them. Proper burial for the fallen. Final count. American casualties, 26,038. Dead, 6,821. The bloodiest battle in Marine Corps history. Higher casualty rate than any other Pacific battle. Out of 70,000 Marines, over one-third are killed or wounded. And the Japanese? Out of 21,000 defenders, only 216 captured. The rest dead. For 8 square miles of volcanic rock. For airfields that saved some bomber crews, but not enough to justify the cost. For an island that had no value except its position. The mathematics of death don't add up. Never did. Never will. After the battle, the question hangs over everything. Was it worth it? The official answer, yes. Iwo Jima's airfield saved thousands of bomber crew lives. Emergency landing field for damaged B-29s. Fighter escort base. Shortened the war. Worth the price. The statistics seem to support this. Over 2,400 B-29s made emergency landings on Iwo Jima. Roughly 27,000 crewmen saved. More than the total American casualties. So mathematically, it was worth it, right? But the survivors know better. 7,000 dead for an island that would be irrelevant within months. The war ended in August, 5 months after Iwo Jima. Atomic bombs made invasion unnecessary. The airfields on Iwo Jima were used, but they didn't win the war. Didn't even shorten it significantly. The calculations that justified the attack were based on assumptions that proved wrong. And the cost wasn't just numbers. It was men, young men, teenagers, many of them, with families, futures, dreams, all buried on a volcanic rock in the middle of the Pacific. The 3 Marines who raised the second flag on Suribachi, dead within a month. Heroes of the most iconic photograph in American history, dead before they knew they were heroes. The veterans of Iwo Jima carry it forever. Survivor's guilt. The question that haunts them. Why did I survive when they didn't? What made me different? What made me lucky? There's no answer. Just luck. Being in the wrong place or the right place by inches. By seconds. The randomness of death in combat. And the broader question, what did we achieve? We took the island. We won the battle. But Japan didn't surrender. Didn't even slow down. The next battle, Okinawa, would be even worse. Even bloodier. Even more pointless. Because Japan wouldn't surrender until atomic bombs forced them to. All the island battles. All the casualties. All the death. None of it broke Japan's will. Only nuclear weapons did that. Iwo Jima becomes a symbol. The photograph of the flag raising is reproduced everywhere. Statues, posters, stamps, movies. It represents American determination, American sacrifice, American victory. But for the men who fought there, it represents something else. The cost of victory. The price of defeating an enemy that refused to surrender. The battle proves what America feared. Invading Japan itself would be catastrophic. If 8 square miles cost 26,000 casualties, what would invading the Japanese home islands cost? Hundreds of thousands? Millions? The casualty estimates for Operation Downfall, the planned invasion of Japan, range from 500,000 to over 1 million American casualties. And Japanese casualties would be even higher. Iwo Jima makes the atomic bomb decision easier. Not easy, but easier. Because everyone who planned the invasion of Japan studied Iwo Jima, studied the casualties, studied how Japanese defenders fought to the death. And they knew. Invading Japan would be Iwo Jima multiplied by 1,000. The entire population might fight. Civilians, children, everyone. The casualties would be unimaginable. So when the option of atomic bombs is presented, the alternative is Iwo Jima on a massive scale. Hundreds of thousands of American lives, millions of Japanese lives, versus 2 bombs, 2 cities. The math is brutal, but it's the math that Iwo Jima taught. The next video covers Okinawa, the last island battle before Japan's surrender. Even larger than Iwo Jima, even bloodier. The battle that convinced everyone that invading Japan itself was impossible. Part 7 drops in 48 hours. You're 6 videos deep into this series. Pearl Harbor, Midway, the island battles, each one building toward Japan's final defeat. But we're not there yet. For more videos, Okinawa, the atomic bombs, the surrender, the aftermath. For the complete story, subscribe now. Because what comes next is the darkest part of the war. The part where both sides realize this can only end one way: total destruction or total surrender. And Japan has to choose. Iwo Jima cost 7,000 American lives for 8 square miles. The men who fought there did their duty. They won the battle. But the question they couldn't answer, the question that haunts their legacy, was the price worth paying? Or was Iwo Jima proof that the Pacific War had become a machine that consumed lives for objectives that didn't matter? That's the question. And the answer died with them on that black sand beach.